Haley Deegan, bend it. Sheldon Creed, bend it. Roman Grosjean, bend it. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., bend it. Your relationship, you bend it. Personally, I'd kill myself.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Driving in Circles podcast, episode 20. Yeah, we made it to episode 20. We don't talk about the real episode 20. Sorry, James. Episode 20. Insert the prices right. Back. Anyway, well, this wasn't the episode that we were planning on being the 20th one. It kind of would have felt great to have that the greatest weekend in motorsport to be the 20th episode, but this one is. So anyway, we'll be covering the two races at Gateway, the Truck and Cup race, as well as Portland in the Xfinity Series, and the brand new Detroit GP with IndyCar. Guys, let's
Spain.
and sorry, I almost forgot Spain because guess what? It was another snooze fest. Anyway, let's start off with trucks. Can I get this out of the way? Granny Ingfinger has got to be the most annoying driver to ever win races because he sounds absolutely terrible. I can't get that through why I hate him so much.
Don't talk bad on Grandin Finger. He may have an annoying voice, but he knows how to wheel a race car, and now he gets to show that in his Cup Series debut with the 42.
James, are they gonna blow this one up like Cory LaJoy getting that 9th spot?
No, they're not. But we'll get to that later.
So Grandin Finger wins the race off of probably the worst driving I've ever seen by two professional race car drivers. Zane Smith and Ty Majeski both take each other out on what was it, the final? Was it the final lap? They took each other out.
No, they took each other out, and then it was a restart. It was another overtime restart.
Yeah, I would have looked like an absolute genius picking Ty Majeski, and then he just sells it. He just sold it. What else happened? Oh, as you guys might have heard by the cold open, Haley Deegan did crash again.
Got absolutely hornswoggled by Nick Sanchez.
She gets absolutely run over by these Hispanic native drivers. Throwback to Max Gutierrez at Nashville. Man. But I think she just needs to move to the Xfinity Series at this point. Like, she's wasting your time in trucks. Nobody races with any respect in the truck series.
Not no one races with any respect in the truck series. See, Kyle is so finicky. Let's keep going.
He's a little testy right now.
He's a little testy right now.
Haley Deegan definitely had at least a top 15 truck.
Whatever you say, bud. Whatever you say, bud.
What else happened?
Nothing much. It was a really casual race.
Yeah, I don't see really anything else to talk about in the truck race.
Nothing notable. I mean, you look at the finishing results. There's nothing really crazy happening.
Yeah. I guess we move on to Xfinity.
I would presume we do, but oh wait, never mind. We have to talk about Super Sub Jesse Love stepping into the 11 truck and getting a smooth P9.
Nice.
Little
ball clap. Now, James, would you say you would invest some stock in him if he were to get some more time in a truck?
I would. We're gonna bring it up here. We're going to I'm telling you to invest in Jesse Love stock, but I'd just be telling you what everyone else is saying. What I'm going to tell you is invest in Jake Garcia stock. Driver the number 35 truck just turned 18, fresh new rookie. No one's talking about him. Jake Garcia stock is where it is.
Oh yeah, look at this. He's got one, two, three, four, five top 10 so far in this season. He's really been under the radar, and wow, yeah, 10th. That's great. That's great, James.
I'm telling
Uh,
you, Jake Garcia stock is where it is.
you heard it here, folks. Your investor right here, James, has said invest in Jake Garcia stock. Let's move on to Portland. I kind of love when NASCAR does these two location events. They moved. They have Xfinity in Portland International Raceway. This race was full of controversy. James, Cory, you guys want to get the start one? This one started.
Not even controversy, just bad racing. Cause you know, Xfinity drivers just don't know how to race with respect when they're put on a road course. So everyone was hitting everybody. We got a little scrap after the race between Jeb Burton and
The entirety of the College 16 crew.
the entire of the College 16 crew. There was words exchanged between a lot of people and Parker Kligerman when he took out the top three to help lead Cole Custer to a win. Uh, a lot of violence going on. There was violence between John Hunter Nemechek and his teammate Sammy Smith. There was just stuff everywhere. And it just seems that every time the Xfinity guys get on road courses, they lose all respect for each other, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely very hard to watch seeing Sheldon Creed get spun out at the end of stage two by John Hunter Nemechek for no reason. Like, John Hunter
John
hadn't
Hunter,
won.
he didn't even win the stage. He
He
lost
didn't
it to
even
Cole
win the
Custer
stage.
because of that.
Exactly. So what was the point of that? You didn't win the stage. You would have got the same points regardless, and you just pissed off another guy who just so happened to be my guy. Um, you know, it doesn't make any sense. He's being over aggressive. He already has the wins. Why doesn't he just rack up points? What is he doing? I mean,
It's
look.
it's it's okay, Kyle. It's okay.
I mean, it's just unbelievable, man.
Well, we can talk about some other notable finishers. Uh, Good old Sam Mayer, because of all the kerfufflage up front, got him a little P3, little P3. Not
Yeah, you
not
don't see Sam Mayer really up at the front on these road courses. Nearly not nearly
You
as
don't see Sam Mayer up in the front anywhere, but
how about Myatt Snyder, the guy who was tapped to win this race last year until a late race incident. Um, yeah, he comes on P6.
my guy, that's my guy. I picked him to win. He didn't win, but he still put it on. He still put it on. Highest finish in Toyota.
Now this one is interesting, James. Connor Mozak in 8th for
Connor,
the San
don't
Juan.
even say don't say that's interesting. Connor Mozak been whipping it on these road courses. I know he drove the what was the part time car for Joe Gibbs last year? I know he drove. Was it the 19 last year? I'm pretty
18.
sure
It was the
it was the
18.
18 last year. He drove the 18 last year part time. I remember he was driving the wheels off that thing. This is not a first time thing. He pretty good at these road courses. Keep an eye on Connor Mozak as a
Yeah,
Toyota
another
development driver.
another interesting one here. Alex LeBay, as you guys remember from a long time ago, he used to run that 36. He's making part-time starts here in the 91, and he's been running very solidly, and he's been known to run really well on these road courses. He got a P11, just shy of a top 10. I mean, he was known as a road court, one of the very few Xfinity exclusive road course ringers. He finally got a good finish for that 91 team.
Can we get a moment of silence for Brett Paris because he was on the verge of a top 15 that race and he stuffed it into a tire barrier, sadly, and he
Oh,
bust out on his top
and
15.
what happened to Jordan Taylor?
Jordan, I have no clue what happened to Jordan Taylor. I just
He
know what happened.
somehow ended up finishing 27th, last car running.
I have not a clue. I'm guessing he got spun, but yeah.
Probably. Well,
Like I said,
that's
these Xfinity guys race with absolutely no inkling of respect when we get onto these road courses. I don't know if they just hate each other and they just take it out on each other or what, but they race with absolutely no respect.
yeah, that's actually yeah, that's pretty much sums up road course racing in the Xfinity series. You're basically bound to have a wreck fest. It's more of a wreck fest than some of these super speedways actually. Um, I find that really funny. But you guys want to dive into a little bit more on that what do you call it? That Jeb Burton incident.
Yeah, Bird.
Jeb Burton wins one Talladega race, no, two Talladega races, and thinks he's Jesus Christ.
Well, they until it had they were scrapping because out of the turn, I guess, uh, out of the final turn on one of the laps, I'm gonna assume that Chandler Smith did something Jeb Burton didn't like. So on the front straightaway, Jeb Burton ran Chandler Smith all the way to the pit wall, almost put him into the pit wall, and then in turn one, and then right after that in the turn one, Chandler Smith tries to punt. He tries to punt Jeb Burton. Doesn't work out, and then he punts him off the track in turn three, and then that's when everything kicked off.
I really like when the tire changer, one of the crew guys was choking out Jeb Burton, and instead of for the first like 5 seconds, Chris Rice wasn't like, or was it Chris Rice? Right? He was he was not he wasn't telling his guys to back off. He was like, first off, you don't talk to me like that. He's telling Jeff, you don't talk to me like that. And then he told his guys to get off of him.
I
He
mess
said,
with Chris Rice. Chris Rice is for the
you don't
smoke, and I mess
disrespect
with.
me in front of my guys. First off, and then and then he told him to get off of him. I found that pretty funny. But he's like, Jeb's like, come on, Chris, you know what's been going on. He's like, you know what you were doing.
Hmm.
Found that
Did he
kind of
know what
funny.
he was doing?
I definitely do not think so.
Hmm.
Let's move on to F1 because that was the first
Race is
race on
Sunday.
Sunday.
F1, fairly uneventful. Pretty good racing though. If you take out Red Bull, we had an absolutely amazing race. Uh, but sadly, we have Red Bull, so we didn't have an absolutely amazing race. Max Verstappen won by like 24 seconds. I don't think I could keep doing this every weekend. But Max Verstappen won by a fine margin. We got a double podium for the Mercedes. Double podium, absolutely amazing. And then double points for the Astons, double points for the Alpines. Guan Yu Zhou with a P9, and then the sad story of the weekend, Yuki Tsunoda, who was comfortably in ninth place when he got a 5 second penalty for pushing Guan Yu Zhou off. Zhou Guan Yu, might I say, my fault, for pushing Zhou Guan Yu off the track. He got a 5 second penalty that moved him back to 12th.
I don't really see how that was a penalty. I mean, they didn't even make contact, and Yuki gave him space. I'm pretty sure he left him space.
Yuki didn't leave him space, but I don't think it was harsh enough for a 5 second penalty. He crowded him off the racetrack, but I don't think that was five
Max
seconds.
Verstappen does that to everybody he races, and he doesn't get
But
penalties.
Max Verstappen is they're treating Max Verstappen like Jesus Christ.
Oh man, that's just really unfortunate, especially for Yuki, because the fact that he's even being able to compete for points in that shit box is absolutely amazing.
One thing I want to bring up, we're looking at F1. We're looking at this where the teammates always get really testy. You know what I've noticed?
What is that?
That Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso have become the best friends to ever live. They've just became the most cordial teammates. Like they get along. They never scrap with each other. You don't see Lance or Fernando running each other off the road like how they were last year with Lance with Seb and O was it? Yeah, Ocon and Alonso. They've just become the bestest friends to ever live.
I
Because
think I think
If you remember at Baku, uh, Fernando was a little slow, and Lance said, "I will not pass him," and he didn't pass him. And now here, Fernando paid back the favor. Lance was pretty slow on the final stint, and Fernando said he will not pass him, and he didn't. You know.
I find that kind of funny. I mean, maybe the fact that Fernando's boss is also Lance's dad, that might play in a factor in why he's being a little bit nicer to him. But it's nice to see that teammates are actually getting along. I mean, Fernando is probably like he's not out there pushing to win races anymore. Like the car's just not there. So why not just maximize points and help out your teammate, right? Because
Yeah.
at this point they're not fighting for drivers championship anymore. They're fighting for the constructors, and even that is not even possible. They're just fighting for second. So really, their biggest opponent is Mercedes, who apparently hate each other. So well, as long as they maximize points every weekend, they should be in a good spot.
Mm. Well, that's pretty much. Oh no, that's not it. Because I looked at this F1 grid and I'm like, that's everything I want to talk about. Right there in 11th. Right there in 11th. In 11th. 0 points on the day. Charles Leclerc on pure pace, might I add.
Things
Oh,
just
that's
keep getting
another
worse,
one
huh?
I forgot to bring up. That's another one. Thank you for reminding me that Charles Leclerc bend it. Ferrari powered teams bend it. Damn, Kyle.
I think I'm getting sick. I think I'm sick to my stomach.
Everything hurting, boy.
Dear God, end it already.
Well,
No, but
now that is officially everything for
yeah,
F1.
time to go from one pain to even more pain. Let's go to Indy, the Detroit Grand Prix.
IndyCar, absolute utter domination, but in a fun way. Alex Palou won at Detroit. I call
Seems
it
that it seems that every
domination.
time he wins a race, James, he seems to utterly obliterate the competition because
You
this
call it
race,
domination, but that was still an extremely good race.
no, it was dominated in the right way where he wasn't just you know 30 seconds out. He was only about 4 seconds out the entire time. So
But
really, one
still,
mistake.
he leading 47 laps, 74 laps. My fault. Leading 74 laps out of 100 laps. That's 74% of the race. Yes, I am a mathematician
Yeah, no, but the thing was is that he was in one mistake's distance of just absolutely
of
losing it.
Will Power, whose new superfan Flava Flav was cheering him on with maximum efficiency.
Yeah, let's see here. Oh, Will Power actually had a great drive because he was starting in the back. He was actually started pretty far in back, for from an average like qualifying position. Um, who was in third? James, your guy.
Felix Rosenquist, he put the. I'm not gonna say it's because Felix doesn't have a job next year, but Felix has been driving like a dick because he doesn't have a job next year, and yeah, he gave. I was gonna say he gave Rossi an elbow, but it more like a
More like a hip check.
yeah, more like a push, more like a push. He walled his teammate to get to the final podium place.
It's
Uh,
so funny, James, because I could have sworn Felix Rosenquist has had more podiums than he has with his tenure at what do you call it, at Arrow McLaren, but
this is his second podium.
this is only his second podium in 3 years. It's kind of weird because I feel like he's always there. Like on road
He is
courses,
always
he's always
he's
there.
always around. He just can never finish the deal. which has always been his problem, and it's why he's on the hot seat essentially.
I mean, it's really interesting because um I feel like he's just always been like that sixth to eighth place guy. That he's always there on the TV screen, but he's never like on the top five list, you know.
Yeah.
But Alexander Rossi, another great drive, back to back top fives for him. He actually might look like he might be in this championship hunt if he can start knocking off a few more podiums and wins with the consistency that he's had so far recently. He looks
I
like he
don't
could
know.
be a
I
major
think he's.
title contender.
I think if we look at it, it's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a runaway because one DNF and it's all over. If one good DNF and it's all back into play, but I feel like there's a good amount of guys that might already be out of title contention. Higher
Oh
pick.
yeah, I mean, if you think about, if let's look at the IndyCar points right now. Pretty much everybody from Felix Rosen, or not really Felix. Everybody from Kyle Kirkwood on down is like eliminated already at this point. I mean,
Pretty much.
You got Christian Lundgaard in 13th, and I just don't see how he could maintain the pace. Kyle Kirkwood is in 12th, and
Very disappointing, actually.
he's probably the strongest. He's like the strongest Andretti car, and
Strongest
he's in
Andretti
12th.
car. He's below Romain, but it makes sense. I think Roman finished the major difference that it has been the Indy 500. It's been the big difference.
Yeah, I mean, Romain Grosjean has shown time and time again that he is the top. He's like top three in qualifying positions on road courses, but god damn, he can't finish a fucking race to save his life.
It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad.
Especially the way he crashed in that turn four, that little 90-degree left hand or right hander where he just ever so slightly uh rubbed the wall on turn in, bent the suspension, and he just went straight. You saw, you would see the frustration. Like he was smashing the steering wheel, smashing his helmet. It was so hard because he had Joseph Newgarden right behind him, ready to pounce on any mistake, and he had to keep pushing. Um, Townsend, was it Townsend or Hinch, who said, "If you aren't on the limit on a street course, then you're just super slow."
That's definitely a Hinch thing to say.
Because it's just, if you're not on it, then you're gonna be in the back. But Alexander Rossi is sixth in points, man. I mean, he's a little bit behind Pato, but I feel like with one or two more top fives here in the next couple of races, he could definitely be a championship contender.
See, now I think to myself, why is his nickname this? And I've realized that it plays in so well because still, yet being second in the points, nobody's talking about the sneaky Swede Marcus Ericsson. Won the first race of the year, kept it consistent. Second in the points, no one's talking about it. This is his master plan. It's always his master plan, just to be there with a I believe P8 at Detroit. I was about to say Belle Isle, but
Yeah, it's
P8
the streets of Detroit now.
got me confused. P8 at the was it P8 P9? My fault. P9 at Detroit. Marcus Armstrong wrapped off a really good P8. But P9 at Detroit, he's keeping in this championship hunt, even though Alex Palou has ripped off a whole race length over Marcus Ericsson.
Oh,
That
and in breaking news, just came out today, Connor Daly out of a ride, and guess who's replacing him, James? Mr. Captain America himself.
good old Ryan Hunter Ray. Absolutely terrible news for the Connor Daly fanboys.
Especially, there's a lot of them. He has a huge support, especially from
He's a
the.
fan favorite, and I understand the results just weren't there for everybody, for anybody. I mean, I know Connor didn't want to be in that position to where that's the best he could get out of the car. I know the team didn't want to be in that position to where Connor, come on, man, we built this car, we upgraded all this stuff, and you're still getting outpaced by arenas. So it's a difficult decision, but had to be made.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious to see how Ryan Hunter-Reay could actually improve, because if the stats don't improve there, they're gonna look really bad firing Connor. It's gonna look really bad on them. But it's always a business decision, especially when you're not performing.
Well,
Well, I think
28th
it's time to move on to Cup Series.
the main event of the evening.
Well,
All I gotta say is brake failures.
and concussions.
And concussions.
That's like 90% of the race. James, would you like to break it down for him?
Why do I have to break down every race? This is ridiculous. I'm going on strike.
Mainly because Bubbers Wallace crashed.
Didn't Ricky Stenhouse Jr. also crash?
He didn't crash from a brake failure
He still crashed, right?
because of Austin Dillon.
That's what I thought. He still crashed, right?
He crashed because of
Public
nepotism.
announcement. Fuck Austin Dillon,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
Whole lot of
Bro
nepotism.
turned himself. Bro turned himself and then blamed it on somebody else and said that he should get suspended. He said, "Man, this." He came out of the medical center. Didn't even say I'm all right. He said, "I think we just got flat out hooked. This looks like the night. This looks like another Chase Elliott situation." Like, bro, calm down. Nobody even asked you the goddamn question yet. And come out here defending yourself.
Never goes pissed.
Goddamn, Austin Dillon, shave off that fucking mustache.
Whoa, buddy.
No,
Whoa.
let him go. Let him go. Talk
Shave
that
off
shit,
that
Kyle.
mustache, man. I'm getting a little tired of watching your little. Your. I can't wait to watch Austin Dillon's life in the fast lane after every NBC race, because, goddamn, that's the only good TV they got on. And since you get like a top 5 every blue moon, they'll keep renewing your contract for that show, because, and then they're gonna get Kyle Busch on there just to keep the ratings up. And it's not going to be about you. A show with your name on it doesn't. It's not even about you, man. So uh, shave off that goddamn mustache. Stop wrecking people and take accountability for your own actions.
Damn, damn,
I'm done.
damn.
Give that man a superhero monologue.
All right.
Oh,
I also want to say that was Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s first DNF of the season. And it wasn't even his fault.
that's impressive.
Yes, he hasn't finished outside the top 20 until this race. Like, no, his last finish outside the top 20 was Vegas. No, Richmond, because he had that drive shaft problem. So, and to a promising day on Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s part, he was ready for a top 10.
Well, it's time to talk about the elephant in the room. Kyle Rowdy Busch.
Kyle
The
Rowdy
win of
Busch
the season. Tied for the most
leads.
wins on
He
the season.
leads in the number of wins.
No, he's tied.
Oh yes, almost forgot about Billy and
William
Byron.
Byron.
Almost forgot about Billy and Byron. Um, in RCR equipment, unbelievable.
Billy and Byron. And Kyle Busch. That is not who I thought would be 1 and 2 in the playoff standings. But that's where we are. And I would like mandatory round of applause for Carson Hocevar. Mandatory round of applause. I'm editing in.
James,
I'm no,
James.
shut up. I'm editing in little claps as we speak. Everyone clap it up for Carson Hocevar. Clap it up. Okay, that's enough clapping. Shut up. Carson Hocevar was absolutely reeling it. He was up to 15th in garbage equipment, and he put it on, and then his brake rotor exploded, and the day was over, and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh, how about we talk about the guy who's usually in that car, given the opportunity of a lifetime, might I add, an opportunity of a lifetime that people would kill to have. He went out there and did what?
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, it looks like me and James will. Cory LaJoy. Cory LaJoy. What did he do today? Everybody was
Nothing.
hyping him up. He's been riding this grassroots, you know, self what do you call this fucking
Self-made, you half-wit.
yep, there it is, self-made driver image, and that he's got to fight and tooth and nail for everything that he's got. Well, they gave him the Jesus seat of a lifetime. What did he do? Nothing. 100% nothing. Not even a top 20.
21st. Almost got outrun by Ty Dillon.
Absolutely embarrassing. Ran worse than he would in a Spire car.
Ridiculous. Everyone making excuses for him. Ridiculous.
They saying it was a roof from the inside. Alan Gustafson purposely made the car bad.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Qualified 30th on pure pace. Finished 21st.
To me, that seems like a negative gain, to be honest, because of the amount of DNFs. He probably would have finished worse than 30th if there wasn't as many DNFs as there were.
No, like important people crashed. The people that would have beat him, Carson Hocevar probably would have beat him. Reddick definitely would have beat him. Briscoe would have beat him. Stenhouse would have beat him. Dillon probably would have beat him. Bubba probably would have beat him. Yup. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should be a 27th place.
Yeah. So I mean, Cory LaJoy, he's lost a lot. I think he's lost a lot of respect right now for how well he's driving. I mean, he can keep doing well in the
Or how
Spire cars,
unwell
but
he's driving.
I mean, it's not looking too good for him to get another shot like that.
I wouldn't give him a shot like that. I just keep calling on Josh Berry at this point.
I think the only reason why they couldn't call on Josh Berry was because he was halfway across the country.
Yeah. I feel like I definitely call on Josh Berry.
Hell, I call on Dale Jr. to get in that damn car before I call back Cory LaJoy.
Honestly, I don't think I'd want Dale Jr. driving this fucking car at this point. It's with all the break. No. We
With all the
We
concussions.
can't
Yeah.
afford to lose Dale, dude.
we can't. We financially cannot afford to do that.
Hmm.
It's not in the budget.
Let's talk about one of the major things coming out of this race: brakes. Brakes. Apparently, the next gens have no brakes. They don't have no tires. They're out of the points. They're fucked. Noah Gragson is out, as we hinted to earlier. Noah Gragson is out with concussion-like symptoms. Grant Infinger is now making his Cup Series debut
At
and
Sonoma, I feel like he's gonna do pretty good. But not I feel like he's probably gonna probably gonna be better than Noah Gragson. Not really a high bar.
yeah, I mean, what's the bar for Noah Gragson? 30th? I mean, come on.
Can't even be like Legacy Motor Club. It's just Noah Gragson is not good.
He is definitely not. Well, that should wrap it up. I mean, what else is there to talk about?
Lamar.
Oh, yes. NASCAR. Cory, you're the most American here. Tell them how it is. Tell them how those Europeans get swag surfed on.
James, can you play the Star Spangled Banner over this, please?
Yes, I can.
Are you gonna pull it up now or do it in post?
I'm gonna do it in post.
All right, fellas. As we head on to Le Mans in French, with our Camaro, with Jimmy Johnson, Jensen Button, and I forget the other guy's name because he's not American and he's not even important enough. I'm sorry, that was mean. But
Mike Rockefeller.
yeah, my fault, OG. I didn't mean to disrespect you like that. My fault. Fellas, as we trek into Le Mans, as I say, we gonna little man and son these Europeans like we have done throughout the history of this great nation. 1776.
Wrong country.
That was when we. That was. It
The
doesn't.
French,
I'm talking
the
about.
French helped. The French helped us, Corey.
It don't matter. It don't matter. We're not. They're not helping us now. We're helping the USA and carrying the NASCAR banner throughout the entire country. We have to do our part to stand up for freedom and democracy. Fellas,
And V8s.
and V8s. Fellas, we are not gonna stand by and watch these hypercars and these Europeans, more like Europeanist heads, take over our motorsports with with your hybrid engines and your fuel economies and your eco boosts. Boy, this is V8s of pure American muscle with good years, more like I said, goodbyes when we get to that final hour of the Le Mans 24. Garage 56, car number 24. 24 hours in a day of pure testosterone and bald eagle blood coursing through that damn car. Can I get a hell yeah, brothers?
Hell yeah, brother.
USA! 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 Now let's go kick some European ass! What the fuck is a kilometer?